Hey friends. Okay, first off, if you can, please put on your camera. If you cannot, that's okay. But if you're like just chilling on the couch or you're in your bed or whatever, turn your cameras on. If you're naked or driving, well, actually, if you're driving, just don't look at the screen. But if you're driving, you can put your camera on. But if you're naked or doing not legal activities, don't turn your cameras on. I have seen both on Zooms and I would prefer not to. Thank you so much. Okay. I am super, super excited. And I say that the start of every Zoom because I do always love doing Zooms. They're just fun. I just like hanging out with everyone and getting to share my thoughts and kind of our plans and what's going on. So we are going to talk about all things April. Okay, we're going to talk about all things April. Hey, Sydney. Hey, Macy. I see your cameras. Hey, girl. Okay, so we're going to talk about all things April, but I want to talk about some things that have been heavy on my heart in a good way. Um, I have talked to so many of you. Put a one in the chat if it's you where you're like, if I could make $500 a month from this, my life would legitimately change. Put a one in the chat if you're like, if I could make $500, like life would look so freaking different. Okay. And Mariah's going to touch on this too. And actually, Mariah, I want you to go into, actually, I think we should end with your mindset vibes is kind of my thought process. You agree? Okay. But so many of you have said, I just want to make $500 a month. And I have a couple thoughts. Number one, that's an amazing start, but I need that to not be your end goal. You can't have just, I mean, you
Mhm.
can, but so many of you, like if your goal is only 500, you're not going to make 500 because nine times out of 10, you don't hit the goal you set, you hit just below it, right? And so I want you to know that April can be the month that everything changes, that you're like, all right, I made $500 a month, and then you never go back to not making $500. However, with that, you need to be consistent, okay? I know so many of you are very, very new where you're like, I don't even know, be consistent doing what. And that's a different story. That's a different conversation of like, we'll figure out what you need to do and we can talk about that. But you need to realize that you can't be consistent and excited and hyped up for 2 days and like go forward and then be like, well, I'm tired. So that I'm going to take off for a couple days. And then you're going to go. Because basically, what I want you to think of is like, if you were trying to do, like do you know those bikes at the gym where like it's all you powered where like you got to get it going and so like those first couple things you're like it feels like you're pushing like 600 pounds and then as you get it going you're like you can just swing through it like there's no weight to it. That's what this business is like where the first little bit it's going to be so hard and every time you stop you're never going to make any progress because you're just going to get back into the hard part and then you're going to stop and get started in the hard part again. But if you just keep going, you will get through the hard part of feeling like you don't know what you're doing and feeling like it's never going to come together for you and it doesn't make any sense. So you got to push through that part and you have to lean on Mariah and I for that. Okay. That's my little spiel on that. Mariah's going to talk on some things at the end. But I am super, super, super excited because Mariah and I were game planning a couple days ago about April. And I was like, I just have this feeling that April's going to be like an insane month. Does anyone else feel like that? Like you just feel like April's going to be your month? Like 2025 sucked booty hole. Let's just be real. Anybody else? Just like 2025, except you, Macy, you got married and you had a beautiful, lovely wedding. But like 2025 was not my year. Okay. It just was rough. And then I feel like it kind of trickled into January and February. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. And I'm just really excited for April. And so I just have this feeling that April's going to be so, so good. And we wanted to come out with this fun thing that we're going to do. And so we are starting what's called a buzzing to 10K, where every single morning you are going to hear from either Mariah and I about something fun to do and then also keep you updated. So, what this looks like is we are pushing to 10,000 in sales as a team. Every morning, we are going to update you on where our team is at for sales. We are going to do giveaways at every thousand. And when we hit 10,000, I'm going to do a $100 cash giveaway. All you have to do
And I
to
do want to jump in on that really
go
fast
ahead.
with you
Yeah, yeah.
guys, just to like, because I know if you guys are like, oh my gosh, 10,000, that's a really big number. Because I know like that's how it feels sometimes looking at something like that. I want you guys to know that this is not just new volume. So it's not just customers you're signing next
Yeah.
month. This is going to be retention based as well. So
Yeah.
those customers you already have in, That's going to be loving on them. It's going to be helping them get another order in. It's going to help them if we have a sale next month, take advantage. Literally any order, your own orders, anything is going to count towards this $10,000 or this 10,000 volume goal. It's not just starting at zero. I want to make sure, because I saw a couple of faces and I was like, don't worry. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to be doing this to build on everything you've already been building in your business.
Yeah. Yeah. So this isn't 10,000 and new. Thank you for saying that. This is 10,000 total as a team, including all of our reoccurring orders and everything we've already done, right? It's just a big push as a team together. So after every thousand, we're going to do a giveaway, and that's going to be fun little things, whether it's like a selfie light or a Starbucks gift card or whatever it might be. And then we're going to do a $100 cash giveaway at 10,000 when we hit that goal. To be entered into the cash giveaway, all you have to do is have some sort of enrollment, just one in the entire month. You get an entry for every enrollment for the cash. Okay. But the other thing that we're doing a giveaway for is I was actually looking at my stash today. I have 3 separate full-size products that I'm going to do a giveaway of those 3 full-size products specifically for if you run an auto ship. Okay, so if you run a subscribe and save of any products that you want, whether it's Happy Juice or collagen, please, if you have not tried collagen, for the love of God, go order collagen. It is incredible. It tastes so good. My crow's feet is going away. My skin is glowing. You can't tell because the lighting is rough, but my skin looks so good. My joints feel so much better. All the things, okay? Whatever it might be, if you run a subscribe and save, you get entered into that separate drawing, whether you get an enrollment or not. Okay, so every morning, Mariah and I are going to pop into our team chat. We're going to share where we're at in our current volume towards the goal, and then we're going to share a quick tip, whether that be a post to make, a reel to do, messages to send, whatever that might be. And I'm so freaking excited about it because for me, when I am like pushing for something, nothing motivates me more than money. Anyone else would be like, just give me money? Because like I was like, I could do like a fun little like giveaway package. I'm like, let's be real. People are just like, go put gas in your car. Go get some groceries. You know what I mean? Like you wanted money for whatever it might be. You don't necessarily want the same things. And I'm super excited to be doing a cash giveaway for you guys. And I want you to know that literally based off of projections, it's like 30 to 40 orders in our entire team to hit this goal. Okay. It's not hard. Okay. Mariah and I have done that by ourselves in a month. Macy probably has too. Like it is not that hard. We're going to be just fine. Okay. But the other thing that I was talking to Mariah about it today, and I want to test run something. Do y'all want to test run something with me this month? I want to test run something. How many of you put a 2 in the chat if you're like, I struggle sealing the deal on brand partners? Specifically, put a 2 in the chat if you're like, I just like, I don't know what to say to them. I don't know how to get them to say yes. Like, I don't know. Okay. What I am testing is we're going to do a team-wide opportunity Zoom. Okay. I think it's going to be April 13th. I think I haven't decided yet. But if this goes well, it's going to be something that we do every single month. Okay. So I want to see how our team does, if this is something that you guys like, if you think it's helpful. But what I'm going to do, and I'm still working on creating it, is that there's going to be a 5-day launch plan of every single day you're going to get something to post, something to talk about in your stories, a reel to make, and then messages to send. So you're going to have a 5-day plan of that. And then you're going to have the day of the live, and then you're going to have a post launch of like talking about the replay, right? And so normally my guess is that we will do it on the 10th, so that we'll do the pre-launch like the 5th through the 9th, and then the post-launch 11th through the 15th to take advantage of the free brand partner fee from the 1st through the 15th. However, this month of April, I'm not going to be home on the 10th, so that's just it's not going to work. So those are the things that I wanted to share. I'm super excited about that. You'll stay tuned in our team chat is where I'll share all the stuff about the opportunity Zoom. And the other thing is we're going to do these team Zooms every single Tuesday. Every single Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, this Zoom ID, you're going to see either Mariah or I or both on here sharing something. Okay. And with that, I want to open the floor that if any of you feel like you're rocking it out or there's something you want to share, feel free to message me or Mariah and be like, hey, can I share a tip on next week's Team Zoom? And the answer will be an astounding yes. Okay. If there's ever anything that you feel like you want to share or whatever it might be, please let us know. Mariah, was there anything else I was going to share? I feel like I was like housekeeping. This is what I was talking about. I think that's it. Are you guys
You
hyped
have,
up? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I don't know if anyone else, I was looking down.
Yeah. I love that too, Mace. See, like for me, we have so many events that include business and products, and I feel like we need something that's purely business focused. So that's why I'm testing it and seeing how this works for our team. And if we knock it out of the park and we have 30, 40, 50 people on, I'll just keep doing it every month because it's super fun for me. I talked about that, Mariah.
Oh, okay. That was the only other thing.
Okay, yep.
All
You're good.
right.
Passing it over to Mariah.
Okay. All right. Well, my iPad is dying plugged in, so we'll see how this goes. If I disappear, just know I love you guys and I tried my best. But anyway, I'm gonna give you guys like 30 seconds while I start talking. I get two good analogies for you guys. Well, one's an analogy, one we're gonna keep going with. But I want you guys to, if you are watching this on your phone, okay, and go get a piece of paper and a pen. If you're not, if you're watching this on a computer or something, you can use your phone to write in the notes. But I got an exercise we're gonna do here in just a second. So I'm gonna give you a second with my first analogy so you can go get yourself set up. Okay. But I want to talk about mindset because going into something like a push or your business really in general, you guys, doing the work is a huge part, yes, because, even like in the Bible, in life, in everything you see, like action is applied for you to get there, right? Faith without works is dead. Showing up and hoping and wishing for something without doing anything and sitting on your hands isn't going to get you there, right? So you have to have the work. But if you don't have the vision, the direction, the goal, the heart, the belief behind it, your work becomes fruitless or fruitful only to a point. And I don't want you guys to work really hard just to get to a point, right? We don't want a ceiling into this. We want you guys to explode beyond that. We want you to be so locked into why you're doing this and how to break through some of the mental barriers we have or the focuses that we're struggling with or the self limits and the self doubt that we have, those things to really know where we're going, and we want the oomph to help you get there. Okay. The last time, you guys, in case you want a little bit of like good juju sprinkled over this, the last time that we did I did a push like this one, okay, where we buzzed somewhere, my team brought in it was like over 12,000 in new volume that month. And this was a team that wasn't working before. Like we had people who had never signed a customer who signed like 20 customers that month. It was insane because we had a great plan, right? We have this push, we have intentionality, we'll be active in the chat, we have Zoom scheduled, opportunity things, tools and resources every single day. So we had a really good plan. And then we had a lot of belief and team unity. And so make sure you guys are plugged into the team chat because that's where that unity is going to come in. Me and Courtney are going to be updating you guys. We're going to be hyping you up constantly. Belief starts coming in there. And we're going to kickstart all of that right now with a little bit extra belief so that we're going in there because I want to see y'all's businesses change. 10 customers, you guys, get your focus on 5, which is $500, and promotes you to brand builder at the first promotion and get you a $75 shopping spree. Okay. Like we've got amazing things on the table. Starting out, if today was day one, you have the opportunity for them. I want you guys to have your best chance at getting those. Okay. And so, first analogy here for mindset, because I feel like a lot of times I thought this was so huge. This is something I heard over this month. That I was like, man, that's me to a T. And so anytime I think something happens to me personal, I'm like, I'm sure somebody else feels the same way. Okay. And so how often do we, instead of talking about where we want to go, right? Instead of saying how you want the freedom, how you want the better life, how you want to be able to stay home with your kids, how you want to be able to pay for groceries without thinking, how you want to fill up your car at the gas station instead of $5. Hello, right? With these gas prices, okay? But instead of saying those things, we talk about the things we don't want. How we don't want to be broke anymore. How we don't want to struggle anymore. How we don't want to have to tell our kids no anymore, right? We focus on those things. And there is some power on knowing what you're running from. But when we focus too heavily on what we don't want, sometimes we accidentally call more of that into our lives. And a great analogy for that, because I'm a very visual person, is if you go into a coffee shop, right? You walk in the coffee shop, you go up to the barista, and it's super busy, chaos everywhere. And they're like, what do you want? And you say, I just don't want black coffee. I don't want black coffee. And they're like, what do you want? But okay, what do you want? I don't know. I don't want black coffee. Hear me? I don't want black coffee. And they're finally like, okay, or whatever. And you go sit down. And they're busy and all of that. And the guy goes around and he's like, oh crap, I didn't get their, what do they want? What do they want? Black coffee. And they bring you black coffee. And it's specifically the one thing you said you didn't want, but because you called it out by name so many times, That's what you were mentally, that's what you were known for, is that wanting the black coffee, even though it was incorrect. And we do that to ourselves by saying so often, I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want to be broke anymore. I just don't want to be broke anymore. But you're calling that into your life because you are not calling the opposite. You're not saying, well, I want to have an extra $1,000 in my bank account at all times. I want to be able to buy the Starbucks on the way to get the kids from school when I'm tired and I want it. You're saying, I don't want to be broke. And so you start recreating that in your life. And so I want us to get intentional about what we do want. Where are you going? You want the $500. What is that going to do? Because I know if you guys have done the whole mindset stuff, because I know like we're probably like a quarter to three quarters, I think, of people who've done network marketing before versus have not. But in any avenue in our lives, you guys, we all talk, like you've heard about manifesting and like living the life already that you're thinking about. And if you haven't, like, then you're gonna get a quick little spiel right now in a better, healthier way, in my opinion. But of like, you want to be rich, well, act rich. Live like you're already rich. You want to be happy? Well, fake it till you make it, baby, right? Like you do those things. But I don't know about you, but I don't know how I'm supposed to pretend to be rich if I'm not rich, because rich me would go buy a coffee or rich me would have a house cleaner. So how am I doing my own dishes yet pretending to be rich? Something doesn't add up here, right? We get in our head and we're like, this is not it. And you can't fake yourself out of the reality you're in. But then how the heck am I going to get out of my reality if you say the problem is in my head and I've got to somehow put myself in that reality before my body gets there? How the heck I'm gonna do that? Okay. And so Courtney was sharing this with me and it was so profound. And I was like, yo, you just changed my life. And so again, we're gonna share with you guys. But it's the idea of the emotion tied to that thing. And that's where we're gonna do a little bit of writing in a second. But so like you were saying, I want to be rich. Okay. Well, if you were rich, how would you feel? What would that feel like? So let's say that would feel like, for me, one of the big things is that would feel like options. Instead of stuck in routine, instead of stuck in planning my day around what XYZ, that would give me options to do things. Okay. So having options, that gives me ease. Okay. So then how can I take this idea of having options and ease, because that's what I tie mentally to being rich. How can I apply that to today for me and create that emotion in my life? And then when I create that emotion in my life and I start finding opportunities and creating like opportunities in my every single day to feel like I have options, to feel ease in my day, I start automatically inviting rich into my life because I'm already creating the environment and the feelings where that goal exists. So then inevitably it ends up coming as well because I'm doing the groundwork to go ahead and create the feelings and the environment that expect the money to then follow. All right. So now is where we're going to do our little questions. I got a couple of questions for you guys, okay, to help you start thinking towards what those feelings are going to be for you, those goals are going to be for you. All right. So instead of focusing on, I don't want black coffee, I want you guys to start thinking of these things, okay? If you were living your dream life today, and you guys, we're on a Zoom and we're going to rock through this. It's recorded. You can rewatch it. So I'm going to go pretty quick. I'll give you like 5 seconds. So write your first thoughts. Don't second guess yourself. Mainly Macy over there, I'm talking to you. Go with your gut, girl. But if you were living your dream life today, exactly how would you feel from morning to night? Would you feel peaceful, excited, confident, secure, energetic, hopeful? How would you feel? All right, when you imagine abundance, joy, freedom, what physical sensations do you feel in your body? Do you feel relaxed shoulders, a little lightness, a little energy? Like, what do you feel? I get a little tingles in my belly when I really think about like my dream life. I get like those little butterflies where you're like, oh, I could have that. All right, which emotions do you notice you're missing the most right now in your daily life? Day to day, what are you missing? For me, it's ease. That's it. I'm missing the freedom, the options, and the ease to just go with the flow and do what I want, not do what I have to do. What small moment in the past week made you feel, even if just a tiny bit, of what you would feel if you were living your dream life? So I started getting my kids up 5 minutes earlier in the morning so we can play outside for 5 minutes before we get in the car to go to school. And the level of ease and options and excitement that has started my day with has been huge. So something even that, like, just so tiny that you already have felt. Maybe you got up early and did your Bible study, or you got to stay up late and watch TV with your husband, something that starts creating those feelings in you. All right. Now we're going to move over to the actions. Okay. So a way that we can brew those feelings before the results are going to appear. Okay. So question one, before we got here, what experiences, activities, or rituals, or like routines consistently make you feel the emotions you want? Is it a solid morning routine, going to bed early, going to bed late, getting up early, getting to sleep in? Is it being able to cook dinner without kids bothering you? Like, what is something that you're doing, an activity, experience, ritual, something, date night, that helps make you feel the emotions that you want? All right, how can you recreate peace, joy, ease, excitement, whatever those feelings we talked about in a couple questions before, without needing external validation or money? You need no additional resources. Where are you today that you could do something different to start creating those feelings? Maybe you get up a little bit earlier so that you can sip your coffee before the kids wake up so that your coffee's not cold. Like little things that you can do that's not going to break the bank. You don't got to go spend a bunch of money, that can help start creating those feelings in your life. Who or what in your life currently bring these feelings to you, and how can you create more space for them? For example, me and Courtney know that like we create these feelings in each other. And so prioritizing our friendship, making time to get together is something that we both are trying to do right now, to start recreating and creating more space for those emotions to come into our everyday life. So what's something or someone in your life that you're like, you know what, this person always makes me feel so good about myself. Let me figure out how I can prioritize them, or quiet time, or time with God, or going for a walk in nature always makes me feel so good about myself. How can I make more time for that? All right, last question set, because now we're gonna take a second. We're gonna clarify what we actually want instead of that black coffee, okay? So if you could design your life, oh man. All right, if you could, if I run out of here, I'm so bad. I'm at like 2%. If you could design your life like ordering coffee, what exact flavor, richness, warmth, experience do you want to sit with every day? That one you guys have to come back to. What does that dream life feel like, look like, smell like, taste like, consist of? All right. What does enough money feel like in terms of freedom, choices, and peace, not just numbers? All right. What does a happy, thriving family actually feel like in the moments? Connection, laughter, calm mornings. And how will you know you achieved the feelings you're seeking? What's that inner signal, that feeling that knows that you actually made it, you arrived? Okay, so those should help you start dialing in on what those feelings are. Okay. That's going to help you be able to then know what you're working for, because it's hard to work when you don't know where you're going, right? All right. The last thing I'm going to leave you guys with before I throw it back to Courtney is I want to talk a little bit very quickly about consistency, okay? Because consistency in doing the work is how you achieve these goals. It's how you achieve the volume push we're doing. It's how you achieve the life you just thought about. Those emotions, those feelings, those can be your reality. This business does not discriminate. It's not a business for people who are just really popular on social media, or who are great, eloquent speakers, or who look a certain way. It's a business that literally anyone can find success in when you build consistently with vision. You guys have an amazing roadmap ahead of you guys. You have an incredible task list, right? Like that is tried and true. Me and Courtney have done the work behind it to make sure that you guys have a resource with that shift to task list to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, all the things, okay? But don't lock yourself into a mold if it doesn't work for you, right? You can use that task list as a task list. Work 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes there throughout your whole day. Just get it done. You can do it in 3 shifts. Just get it done. You can do it all at once. That's what I do. First thing in the morning. By noon, I have all 3 shifts done. Okay? I do all of it at one time. It doesn't matter the package you're putting in, guys. It matters that you're showing up for your business. If you want this to really transform your life, if you want to feel those emotions you just tapped into and you talked about, you've got to be willing to put in the work to get yourself there, because no one's going to come and save you. No one's going to do this for you. You've got to own the business. You've got to own the dream. That is in your heart and your soul for a reason. So you know where you're going now. Now's the time that you buckle in, and next month you do the work. You do 3 shifts every single day. You show up and you show out hard. You ask questions when you don't know what to do. You ask questions when you're stuck. You ask questions when you feel like you're up against a wall. When you feel discouraged, you reach out for support. You reach out for a pep talk. You reach out for something that's going to help you past that point, because your success is in your hands. You have to show up for your business. You have to be committed. That dream is in your head, not mine. I don't know how you answered your questions. I don't know what you wrote down. It's not that I don't care, because I was going to say I don't care, but I don't care because I have my own dream. And you know what? I'm showing up for my dream. And I love you and I support you and I want to do everything in my power to help you get your dream. But it is still your dream. It's not Macy and Mariah's dream. It's not Sydney's and Mariah's dream. It's not Courtney's and Mariah's dream. It's your dream. And you are the author of that story. You are the one that gets to show up and make this thing happen, and happen quickly, right? Next month is about to be insane if you let it be. It will be insane if you plug in. It'll be insane if you show up. It'll be insane if you do the work. Or you're going to get to the end of the month and we're going to be giving away $100 and your name's not even going to be in the running, because you were like, oh, I was waiting to feel this. I was waiting to be ready. I was waiting to, know what to do. I was waiting for someone to XYZ. Like, no, y'all, this is it. This is the time. We are giving you the opportunity. It is your time to plug in. It's your time to step up. It's your time to say, you know what? I do want this. I do deserve those things. I do deserve to feel that. I do deserve that life I want. And I'm ready to partner with you guys. You're ready to work with us as we go forward in April. We get serious about what we've been trying to show up for, and we go out and do the thing, and we change our lives. All right? We are so excited to celebrate with you every step of the way, to do these giveaways, to hype you up in the chat. Because at the end of the day, you're the one showing up for your business, and you've got to be accountable, and you've got to be committed to doing the work to get yourself there. So I'm going to let Courtney take it back over, because I'm down to like 1%.
She died. She called it. That was a perfect ending. Okay, you guys, I want to just say one more thing, because there are so many of you that have had this dream. You guys have been here for a couple months, or maybe you're brand new and you're like, I just want $500. My life would feel so different. And what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. Like, yes, physically close your eyes unless you're driving, then don't. Okay. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine that it is the end of the month. Okay. It's the end of the month and you made not only your $500, but you made $600 and you got a $75 shopping spree. And you get to go tell your husband or your fiance or your partner or your friend or your kids that you just made $600 freaking dollars from your phone. From your phone. What is that going to allow you to do? Are you going to be able to go get all of the groceries you need? Are you going to be able to pay your car? Are you going to be able to go on a little weekend getaway? Are you going to be able to say yes to an extra play date at a fun place because you made this extra money? Are you going to be able to breathe a little bit easier? Are you going to be sleeping a little bit peaceful? What does that look like? What does that feel like if you woke up and it was April 30th and you made $600 and you get to log in, you get to pick $75 of free products? What does that feel like? And I want you to think of that feeling, because like Mariah said, you can recreate that feeling all month long. So many of you I know are feeling hopeful and excited and joyful and content and calm and peaceful. And I want you to look for those feelings every day. You can open your eyes if they're still closed. I want you to look for those feelings all day, every day for this next month. I want you to believe in yourself all day, every day for the next month. And if there's any second of doubt, I want you to text me or text Brian and be like, hang on, I'm having a minute. Can you hype me up again? And the answer will be yes. We will hype you up again and again and again and again. Because we want to see you at the end of the month where you hit your goal and you can tell yourself, I actually did it. Because I think the thing that we're missing is that so many of you, it's not that you don't believe in the business or you don't believe in the products, or you don't believe any of that, because you see it working for so many people. At the end of the day, you're having trouble believing in you. And I want to see you get to the end of the month where you're like, holy crap, I proved myself right. I actually freaking did it. I actually made the money I needed to make. I actually was able to pay my car. I remember the first month that I made a significant income working online, and it sounds so dumb, but if you've ever been so tight financially, this will make sense to you, and I hope that it lands for someone. But I remember the first time I went to Target to get groceries, and I was walking around, I was getting my groceries, and I had a list, and I stopped. And if you don't know anything about me, let me tell you random things about me that I love. I love Oreos more than life itself. Anything Oreo flavored is a yes. If you ever don't know what to get me something cookies and cream flavored, and I will love it. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care. I've had cookies and cream popcorn. Everything is delicious. You cannot convince me otherwise. Okay, I love Oreos. And I love whipped cream. Not Cool Whip. That does not exist. That's not real whipped cream out of a jar with the little nozzle that's probably not safe, that stuff, okay? Or homemade if you really want to get bougie, okay? And I was walking through Target and I got everything on my list and I stopped and I got myself Oreos, the double stuff, of course, and I got myself the spray whipped cream. And it sounds dumb because it was $5, $6. But when you've been living in a spot where you can't even put a full tank of gas in. You can put $2.37 because you have $2.38 in your bank account. Spending that extra $5 or $6 on something you want means everything. And I was walking out of the store, and I think it's everywhere, but at the Target I was at, there was a Starbucks, and I was like, why don't I get a Starbucks? And I stopped and I got myself Starbucks and I got myself a little cookies and cream cutie cake pop. And I was like, it was the dumbest thing because it was total probably $10. But it was in that moment that I was like, I did it. I made it. You could have told me I was Beyonce and I would have been like, I know. Because when you have lived in struggle and lack and just barely enough for so long, to have that little second of breathing room means everything. And I know that for so many of you, that five, $600 is going to give you that. That's going to allow you that if you're driving to the park and your kids want to stop at 7-Eleven to get a slushie, you can say yes instead of having to say no, even though it's only $3. When you live that tight, you can't. It's not that you don't want to. I told my husband when we started having kids, I said the only reason I want to say no is if I want to say no, not because I have to. If I say no, it's because I want to say no, not because I have to say no. And I want that for all of you, whether that's for your kids or yourself. I want you to understand that this business can give you that. That you can make $500, $600 this month, and that can be the bare minimum you ever make again from your phone. I want you to know that when I first started in this business, that Starbucks moment, the month before that, I made $17. That month, I made 600. 6 months later, I was making five figures a month. I had no idea what I was doing. I did not have social media that I knew what to do with. I did not have friends and family that were going to purchase from me. I didn't even have a TikTok. I don't think TikTok existed back then. A little old. Okay, I don't think TikTok existed back then. And my Instagram, I didn't post on it. It had 72 followers and I had 200 friends on Facebook. I was not someone that was meant to do this. I was not someone that you would look at and be like, oh, you were an influencer. Like you already had a network. You had people following you. I wasn't that person. All I had was a deep desire in my soul to stop freaking living how I was living. I was over it. And when you get to a spot that you say, enough is enough, I'm not doing this anymore, and you genuinely mean it, and you get to a spot that you're like, I don't care what it takes. I will blow up someone's phone all freaking day. And not like your potential, I'm saying like me. Like if you would blow up my phone and be like, help me, help me, help me. I am never going to get annoyed of you. I promise you. Get to a spot that you're like, I will do this come hell or high water and watch mountains move for you. Because the world can change when you change. When you decide enough is enough, I'm not doing this. Because I promise you, every single one of you are made for more than such a life of lack. And I've talked to so many of you that are like, life is just so freaking hard right now. And I don't want it to be hard for you. And it doesn't need to be hard. And this can be the month that everything changes. That your days of struggle, your days of hard nights, and when you go to sleep afraid of money and wake up afraid of money, those days can be over. You could have lived through your worst days financially. Life's still going to happen. Okay. I'm not God. I'm not going to make it all go away, but you know what I mean? Like you can have lived through your hardest financial days. but it starts right now. It starts with committing to the next 30 days of I'm going to do the things. I'm going to post. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to talk to Courtney. I'm going to be in our team chats, and you're going to be committed, hands in the water, ready to run. And your world can look so freaking different next month. So I love you all so much. Keep an eye on the team chat. You'll see everything in there. And we'll see you guys next week.